Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. Today, we're going to be reacting to the hit TV show 60 Days In on A&E. Never gets old doing that intro, brings a little joy, skip to the beat of my heart. We're actually going to be going down memory lane with this one, okay? Season 8 is wrapping up, and there ain't really too much more to talk about. Of course, we could go down the women's side of things, but I just don't think we're ready, have enough energy for that just yet. So let's go ahead and reverse it. I think this is coming from Season 5, the legendary Abner, the leader of the Chicanos. One of my favorite seasons, to be honest with you, but today we're going to see what happens to individuals that get stuff stolen from them. And you know, I've been to prison 2 times and seen my share of thievery. This type of action after someone steals something never happens usually over here in the East Coast. It's usually handled by the person that got stolen from and the individual that stole it, right? It's just usually them two handling the situation, fighting one-on-one. You typically never have anyone having your back, okay? Unless you got homeboys or you're part of a gang or something like that, it's a little bit different. But for the most part, there's a lot of people, especially in the prisons I've seen, that are just rolling solo. And if they get something stolen from them, it's up to them to handle it. Not their homeboys, not anybody else, because soon you'll find out that really ain't nobody got your back when shit starts hitting the fan. That's just what I seen, and I'm going to break down some of these differences when it comes to stealing and lockup on this episode compared to what I seen. But if you enjoy, don't forget to tap that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Now, in case you didn't know, before I press play, this season is taking place in Florence, Arizona. And a lot of people know that there's different kinds of rules and regulations that people have to follow, depending on what prison you're in. Usually it's a major difference between the East and West Coast politics or rules and regulations. So, like I said, I'm not used to seeing this type of activity from people, especially when they get stuff stolen from them. Abner, man, he already starting off strong. He got to claim his dominance as the leader of the Chicanos. Believe it or not, though, when you try to be a leader, man, a lot of the people that are supposed to be running with you will test you, right? So you got to keep that solid composure. But he's playing chess with an individual that's going to have a situation later on in the show for stealing stuff, right? Abner doesn't know nothing about this. Not too many people do yet, but as you can see, they're playing chess. Seems like friends, right? You know, only friends play tabletops together. Well, friends in lockup, they come cheap, man, because they're here today and gone tomorrow, usually over situations or, you know, it's jail. You know, the turnover rate with inmates is high. So you never know what might come your way to change the relationship with the person that you've been chilling with. You could find out they have bad paperwork, or in this situation, Abner's going to find out that homeboy's been stealing.
Now I'm about to check, man. You don't even know what you're doing.
You know how many fights I've seen over that chess table, man? A lot of people might think it's a soft, sophisticated game. Everyone's cool and chill. Nah, man, especially when you put touch and move into play. Touch and move means if you touch the piece, you have to move it. Some people are like, man, I just brushed it, bro. That don't count. I wasn't even gonna pick it up. I accidentally touched it. They don't care. You touched it, you move it, buddy. And that's when stuff usually starts jumping off, man. When people take those rules and regulations and hold them to other standards than others. So don't ever think that any kind of tabletop game and lockup is safe. Anything can happen. Anytime it can hit the fan.
Yeah. How am I in check?
Try to take it on.
How am I in check?
Try to take it on. Dude, you're in check. What are you doing?
Looked to me like Abner was getting smoked on that chess table. And him being the leader of the Chicanos, it could be hurting his pride a bit. You know, losing to a foot soldier in his mind. Ain't no way a foot soldier can outwit old Abner. Especially on the chess table. He must have cheated. Just like he must have stole something. Now, like I said, there's different rules and regulations depending on where you're at. And in this facility and many facilities across the West Coast, man, you separate or group up based upon your skin color for the most part. You got the Chicanos, you got the blacks, the whites, you got the tribal members, Native Americans, Asian, Islander, Pacific, you know, they all tend to group up with themselves and watch each other's backs. Even when it comes down to stealing, if they find out someone's stealing, then they'll go to that particular group and say, look, you got to handle it or else, you know, we're going to handle it. And chances are it could turn into a riot. And that's what's happening right now. Justin, someone from the woodpile, the woods, white guys, went up to the Chicanos and said, look, we know someone from your group is stealing my time money. So how are y'all going to handle this? Or do we all have to go to war? If you were to ask me, this is actually good, you know, because the stuff that I've seen when people get their stuff stolen from them, they have nobody to lean on. You know, if they do it right in front of the whole pod and stuff like that, people don't really respect it. They all might kind of stand up. Doesn't matter what color you are. They might kind of stand up and say, look, that was messed up. You got to get up out of here, man. But it's very rare, you know. Usually, especially when you're coming into jail, man, you're all on your own. You don't have a particular group to walk up to and know for a fact that they are going to watch over you just as much as you're going to watch over them. Is lone wolf status in the majority of places, you know? So this, if you were to ask me, is a good tactic to keep the peace and to limit the violence. It gives people opportunities to roll up their stuff, leave the pod, which we're going to get to in a second, or get forcibly rolled out, meaning they don't want to take blame for what they did. Then everyone's going to beat the hell out of them. And he's going to end up leaving one way or another. Because, you know, even if they can't stamp it on someone, man, if all the red flags are there, you're going down for it. In a lot of situations, you can't stamp it, right? You just kind of have to go with your intuition and what you've been seeing. You see a guy that never gets on the phone, then all of a sudden is accused of stealing phone money, and he's been on the phone 24/7, then chances are he stole it. But one of the similarities to this is you see a group of guys huddling up, discussing something in lockup, regardless of where you're at, chances are there's some kind of drama situation taking place, or maybe even, you know, very rarely, it could be a magic show. I remember there was a huddled crowd in the pod. I was like, damn, what's going on over there? Someone about to get knocked out. And then I found out someone got a badass magic trick show going on. I joined that huddle real quick, man. Dude was the best magician I've ever seen in lockup, man. And still to this day, I'm pissed because he never showed us how he did them, man. You know, I can't stand that, especially if you're not like, I can understand if you got a show, you know, on television, you're not going to show people how you do the trick, but you're in jail, bro. Show us how you did it. You ain't making no money off this. He never did, man. Pissed me off. But that's, you know, I'm jumping off track here. Let's see what old Abner going to do to handle this puppy.
You've been so I can't just let it go. That was $50 on my phone. Oh, that's stealing, bro.
So he's on the phone enjoying himself, warmed up, with 2 seats. Oh, you enjoying that 50 clip, right? But who knows? You know, it could be his own money. Word of advice to anybody out there, man. If you ever start using the phone for the first time or have to use a PIN to get into your number every time, then you better cover your damn hand like it's a credit card. Places I've seen, there's skimmers everywhere. You'll go to sleep with $120 on your phone. Next day, you're negative 110. Look, jail's different with them phones, man. People are going through it. This is the first time being separated from their missus, from their family, all that. So they'll do some crazy stuff to get on that jack.
I don't know how you want to do it, but you want to steal from people? That's over with. Your ass is gone, bro.
Now, homeboy should have known something was up. All the Chicanos in the room huddled up, talking together, and he wasn't invited, right? Maybe they chose to do it when he was on the phone to make it look like they weren't trying to keep him out of the situation, out of the loop or something, right? It can get tricky, the mind games and lockup. But if he wasn't on the phone when they did this group, he's just walking the pod and he wasn't invited to it, then yeah, he should be getting very suspicious about what's going on. There's red flags that people are going to come get you, and that's definitely one of them, man, when they keep you out the loop of everything. or they're starting to look at you differently, respond to you differently when you talk to them. It used to be fun, laughing, games. Now it's more along the lines they're keeping their emotions very hidden, giving fake smirks, fake laughs. You know, everything's more calm and nonchalant compared to when you were first talking to them. Something's changed, you know, and you got to recognize these red flags if you ever get locked up, man, and expect it to be coming. But we're about to witness another stealing situation that happened within the woodpile, the white guys. Someone got caught up taking some boxers and deodorant. He's about to roll it up. Okay, they kick him out the pod, and he goes out without a fight. He listened to what they had to say, but the COs are getting tired of it. They're getting tired of this pod getting everybody that makes a mistake to leave. COs don't want to have to transport these people to new pods and do paperwork all the time, so they're getting fed up. They're about to lock it down after this guy rolls it up.
201, what's going on, man?
Yeah, what do you got caught stealing this one? What is stealing? A pair of boxers, a steak deodorant, and some books.
So the COs are about to handle the situation appropriately. Like I said, they're fed up with all this rolling out stuff. But let me just say this, all right? This guy's part of a group, the white guys, the woodpile. Why the hell is he having to steal boxers, deodorant, and some books? First off, he should never steal anything, even if they don't give it to you. But being a part of that group, that should be the first thing that these people look out for him with. Make sure he has boxers. Make sure he has socks, toothpaste, deodorant. That's typically what happens with people that are part of these groups or organizations, gangs, whatever you want to call it. But by him stealing boxers, deodorant, and books, the basic necessities, tells me that they might not be looking out for all their woods, right? I don't know. Maybe he just came in the pod and just decided to steal right off the bat. Didn't give the group a chance to look out for him. I don't know, but going around jail with no boxers is horrible. Trust me, man. Sometimes it happens. You have to wait till commissary to get all your drawers, socks, and stuff. But a lot of people also don't understand that most jails, they don't give out boxers. It ain't till you get to prison usually that you get your sets of 3 boxers, socks, a couple towels, and washcloths. You know, because you're going to be living there for a long time. In jail, the turnover rate's so high that they don't kick out certain items because they want to save money. But when you come into a housing facility, even if it's a jail, the establishment should give you boxers and socks. I don't give a damn. You shouldn't have to be forced to buy it off of commissary. That's pure torture if you're to ask me. Sitting on all that cold metal and concrete with no drawers on, you're just asking for some hemorrhoids. Or someone getting stabbed up, because they ain't going to keep walking around free balling like that, man. They're going to trip out sooner or later. But the COs are pissed off, man. They're getting all the inmates out here in the pod to discuss this rolling out situation.
All right, fellas, listen up. If we have one more person class roll out of here, you guys will be on the STEP program.
You'll be locked down for 30 days. No showers for the first 5 days. No visitations for the first week. No TVs for 2 weeks. And then pretty much slowly just work your way out.
Now, I've seen this numerous times where COs will come in, get everyone sat down by their bunk or whatever, and address everyone at home. Usually, from what I've seen, because in Virginia, you get microwaves in the majority of facilities. It doesn't matter if it's low, medium, or high. Most places have a microwave. So that's one of the major things I've seen them come in and threaten us with taking is the microwaves, then the phones, and then visitation or the rec yard. All your little amenities they can take away from you very quickly. And that's how they keep control, man. You know, guys don't want to be sitting on 23-1 in a general population cell block. They ain't got time for it. And a lot of them ain't do nothing wrong and they're reaping what everyone else did. So this is typical, but at the same time, what they're doing, it could cause a lot more drama in the block, especially when it comes down to physical altercations, because getting these individuals to roll up, pack their stuff up, and leave the pod is non-violent usually. Right? And if they decide not to leave the pod, then it could get violent. But typically, most people, they get their stuff together and they don't want to get jumped and they leave peacefully. But by the COs getting mad and threatening the inmates to keep these individuals in the pod, don't get anybody else to roll up, it could cause physical violence because then they're going to be forced to live with that person. And the only way to get him out after that, because he can't just choose to roll up no more, the COs are done with it. They're going to have to beat him out, right? And that's just how it goes. So these COs are kind of the beginning kindling fire to some violence in the pod, just because they don't want to keep moving people out.
It seems awfully funny that this pod right here has had the most roll-ups out of any other pod in this unit.
We've had the less assaults.
Okay?
They're here stealing.
When that happens, we'll address that. But there's
It's already happening.
no. Okay.
That's what happened.
Well, I mean,
Hey guys, listen. Okay, this is our jail. This is our unit.
This guy right here is another participant in the program. He's a police officer, believe it or not. And man, if you're to ask me, he's kind of regulating the whole shebang. He's actually even called out everybody in the pod. Anybody got an issue with me, don't matter black, white, or brown, you can come on and handle it. And no one did nothing. So, you know, he's kind of on his high horse. At the same time, he's getting mad at the CO for being on his high horse, saying that a CO or DO, whatever you want to call him, is the bottom of the barrel and lowest of all type of law enforcement, right? Completely dish-ragging him. But at the same time, ain't no way he doesn't act all high and mighty when he's on duty, man. I know for a fact he doesn't. But, you know, that fact is only in my mind. It's just my 2 cents. You know, I can't stamp it on nobody. But regardless, he is right in a sense. You know, homeboy is coming in here claiming his dominance, saying y'all don't run shit, we run it. You're the one behind locked doors, not them. So who runs what? Right now, bro, you need to humble yourself because you're an inmate. You are not an officer of the law at this point in time, you know? So it's just wild to hear an officer of the law talk so badly about someone else that he has to have contact with on a regular basis. Maybe not in this jail, but when he arrests people, he has to go to jail and handle situations with COs all the time. And he's just dish-ragging all of them, putting them all in a barrel, saying that they're the lowest of law enforcement. If I were to guess, he probably had issues with his own county or city's correctional officers after seeing this episode every time he brought someone to the precinct. But let's jump back over to the Chicano Giovanni situation. He's accused of stealing $50 phone card from one of the white guys. And, I mean, just look at where he's sitting. You know, he's sitting right next to the jacks. That's something you need to keep a close eye on when you get on the phone. It's the same guy that every time you go to use the phone is the same guy getting closer to you. You know, as soon as you start typing in your pins, those are obvious signs that he's radar in the situation. Guaranteed skimmer, but let's get back into this mix and see what happens. Now, this is what I call a reverse skimmer, all right? You got homeboy right here who's watching Giovanni. They're a part of the same Chicano group, but he's watching him to see if he uses the white guy's PIN number. The white guy already gave him his PIN and said, look, be on the lookout for it, see if you see him using it. And he's sitting right there at the table as well, right? So this is straight blatant disrespect. He's using his phone number while just a couple feet from him.
how do you want to deal with it?
Now, keep in mind what I said in the beginning. Your homeboy today can very well possibly be your enemy tomorrow, especially in lockup, man. It could change at the drop of a dime. But remember, Abner is the leader, and he has to make sure that the rules are enforced. Even though he was playing chess and becoming kind of tight with Giovanni, it doesn't matter. That connection's about to go out the window.
Sit down. Listen, you stole from dude. From who? From the white.
I didn't steal nobody, dog. I mean, you guys can go in here and say that I did, but I didn't steal. Go in here and talk to me
We
again,
got
because I already told you.
on. That's why we're all gonna be in the same room upstairs, and we're gonna have a trial.
And he is in the courtroom going to trial, the inmate's courtroom, for stealing from another inmate.
Think about your homeboy getting taken $50 from you. What would you want to do?
I know I didn't do that. I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm not gonna roll out on me, and if you want it, I'm gonna be out here.
If he wanted to handle the situation with them, they should have just handled it in a cell. But he decided to walk out, and he said, if you want to handle it, you can handle it out here, knowing damn well that the COs will see it nice and quick and come save him, right? So, yeah, this is kind of like a different variety of checking in. It's up to the person looking at it, right? But it don't matter. They're still going to get you regardless, one way or another. And that's what happens in this episode. He gets rumbling with the guy that says he pressed those numbers, the one that was skimming the phone as he was pressing the buttons. He's the one that ends up handling the situation. Crazy, right? Two Chicanos end up fighting over a white guy's car being taken. You never see that type of stuff, man, you know, especially the places I've seen. But it keeps order, it keeps structure, right? And not to mention, a little bit of drama keeps your time flying, baby. Now, the fight's about to take place, and I'll leave this video linked in the comment section below if you want to go check it out. But let me break down some stuff here, okay? Homeboy that's holding the phone is literally right under the camera. He stands up because Giovanni is coming up to him, pulling up his pants, looking at him like, hey, bro, let's handle this right now. But he's saying to him, bro, you're going to do this right in front of the camera, which is obviously to anybody in their right mind is a snitch move, man. You don't... Look how close that damn thing is. But Giovanni ends up firing the first punch on the guy that told on him for using the numbers. But Giovanni definitely fired off first, got a few good blows in, and he's so close to that camera that the guy on the phone, he's probably going to get like maybe, because they always take both people that are fighting to the hole to begin with. Regardless if you were the one getting beat senseless, it doesn't matter. You're both going to Himtown. You can talk about it later on, but homeboy ain't got to say nothing but check the camera, right? And he'll be in and out that hole very quick. As far as Giovanni, though, he's going to be sitting back there for a couple weeks because he was the first one to come up to him aggressively and throw the first punch. They do have investigations when things like this happen, man, especially if the 60 Days In program's in there with cameras and stuff. You know they're going to be watching and taking things to a different level. But like I said, if you want to watch the fight yourself, I have it linked in the comment section below. It ain't too bad of one. It was actually pretty action-packed.
You a rat. You a rat, bro. Yeah, he's got a green light now. Everywhere he goes. Boom! Got it.
Abner said, yeah, we used to play chess a lot, but this time, I checkmated him. Oh, fucking Abner. Damn Abner, man. I love him. Anyways, man, hopefully y'all enjoyed. We're going to wrap it up right there. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. And stay tuned. I got plenty more content like this coming your way. Not to mention, I got almost 2,000 videos for you to watch and playlists. But until the next time, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.